Minasan, konnichiwa! This is Anette Hansen from Onsen with Hansen or Ryokan Megiri, where we explore some of the most fascinating ryokans across Japan. And you can see Misaki-kan Honten behind me here. I'm ready to explore not only Miura, but also some of Miura's fascinating festivals. Without further ado, let's go! Picture this. You're sitting in a century-old ryokan where Nobel laureate Yasunari Kawabata once found inspiration, about to feast on the rarest parts of tuna you've ever even heard of, while festival drums echo through wooden corridors that haven't changed since 1933. Welcome to Misaki-kan, where PlayStation game developers came to create virtual worlds and where I'm about to show you why this hidden gem in Miura Peninsula deserves a spot on every Japan veteran's bucket list. Misaki-kan Honten isn't just any ryokan. It's a living piece of Japanese history. Founded in Meiji 41, that's 1908 for those keeping track, this place has been the beating heart of Misaki for over 115 years. The current main building, built in Showa 8, 1933, and every creaking floorboard tells a story. This is where literally giants like Japan's first Nobel laureate in literature, Yasunari Kawabata, penned their masterpieces, where kabuki actors escaped Tokyo's chaos, and where, get this, the developers of Toro no Kyujitsu stayed to create their virtual seaside town. Anyone who has played this game will recognize these exact corridors, these precise window frames. It's like stepping into a PlayStation memory made real. But here's what really sets Misaki-kan apart. They claim to be the birthplace of Maguro Kabutoyaki in Japan. We're talking about the first in to serve grilled tuna head as a specialty dish, transforming what was once fishermen's scraps into a culinary legend. And this isn't just culinary history, it's the story of how the ryokan grew alongside Misaki's transformation into one of Japan's most legendary tuna ports. You see, when Misaki-kan opened its doors in 1908, Misaki was already establishing itself as a fishing hub. It was during the early Showa period that fishing boats were modernized and Misaki exploded into one of Japan's largest tuna landing ports. Today, this small harbor handles some of the highest volumes of big-eye tuna in the entire country. So, when Misaki-kan started serving grilled tuna head, they weren't just creating a dish. They were celebrating their hometown's maritime identity, transforming what fishermen considered scraps into a symbol of mottainai, the art of wasting nothing. Getting to Misaki-kan from Tokyo is surprisingly simple. Take the Keikyu line to Misakiguchi Station, then a scenic 15-minute bus ride that winds through the Miura Peninsula's countryside. As you approach Misaki Port, the air changes. Salt sea and that distinct aroma of working fishing harbor. This isn't touristy Kamakura, it's authentic coastal Japan. We stayed in room Kiku, Chrysanthemum, and here's the incredible part. This is the exact same room where the PlayStation game developers stayed when creating Toro no Kyujitsu. Talk about stepping into gaming history. The room has this perfect traditional layout. An entrance area with a small refrigerator and private sink, then the main sleeping room with tatami that's probably older than my parents. The windows are hidden behind traditional shoji and give you this gorgeous view straight across Misaki Harbor and its famous fish market. During dinner, the staff transformed this space, laying out our futons with that precise attention to detail that makes ryokan stays so special. But let's be honest, this is old school ryokan living. No private toilet, there's a shared bathroom down the hall. And here's your pro tip. The room gets quite bright at night, especially during summer. Plus, there's some traffic noise from the streets. Pack an eye mask and earplugs if you're a light sleeper. It's what we call wabi-sabi, finding beauty in imperfection, in authenticity. Every creak, every quirk is part of Misaki-kan's character. And honestly, that's exactly why we are here. Just steps from our ryokan, Kainan Shrine was preparing for its Natsu Reitaisai, the summer grand festival that transforms sleepy Misaki into something magical. This shrine isn't just old, it's ancient, founded over 1,000 years ago as the soja of the entire Miura Peninsula. That means it protects all the local shrines, making it the spiritual heart of this fishing community. And here's something you won't see at just any shrine. Right here by the main hall, there's this wonderful plastic tuna head figure. It's not ancient art, it's a modern Misaki showing exactly what the community values most. For centuries, fishermen have come here before setting sail, praying for safe passage and full nets. But in modern Misaki, those prayers have a very specific focus. Big-eyed tuna, the species that made this port famous throughout Japan. The daytime festival had a perfect Matsuri energy, with locals dressed up in their finest yukata, sharing festival wisdom, and the constant rhythm of taiko drums that seems to sync with your heartbeat. But this was just the warm-up. The real magic happens when the sun goes down. Before dinner, we enjoyed the communal bath. Simple but incredibly relaxing. It's not a natural onsen, just good hot water in a big tub. But after a day of festival walking, it was exactly what we needed. Now, if you think you know tuna, Misaki-kan is about to humble you. This isn't just dinner, it's a masterclass in sustainable seafood. They practice what the Japanese called mottainai, wasting nothing. Every edible part of the tuna finds its way onto your table, transformed by techniques passed down through generations. The sashimi course was incredible. Different cuts of tuna that showcase the range from lean akami to buttery toro. Each piece cut to perfection. And then there's the maguro no kakuni. Tuna belly braised until it's melt in your mouth tender. But the crown jewel, the dish that made Misaki-kan famous, is their maguro kabutoyaki. This is a massive grilled tuna head. Unfortunately, you need a group of 4 or more people to order it, and it wasn't available during our stay. Legend says Misaki-kan was the first inn in Japan to serve this, back when tuna heads were just fishermen leftovers. Now it's a pilgrimage dish for serious food lovers. As night fell, Misaki transformed. Those afternoon festival stalls became something from a fairy tale. Lanterns casting dancing shadows on ancient stone paths. The highlight was the Mikoshi procession, the portable shrine carrying the deity through the streets in a ritual that has remained unchanged for centuries. The energy is infectious. Washoi, washoi! The rhythmic chants that unite hundreds of voices. Alba and I found ourselves mesmerized by the taiko drummers, their rhythmic beats echoing in the streets, creating this incredible acoustic experience that you can feel in your chest. But the grand finale was the lion dance ritual, where traditional lion costumes move through the crowd in an ancient dance meant to ward off evil spirits and bring good fortune. Watching this unfold in front of the harbor felt like traveling through time. Morning brought us back to earth with a traditional Japanese breakfast that was humble perfection. Grilled fish still carrying the taste of Sagami Bay, miso soup that warmed more than just your stomach, and rice that reminded you why this grain built a civilization. After a night of excitement and tuna extravagance, this simple meal felt like exactly what our bodies needed. During breakfast, our futon beds had disappeared again like magic, and it was time to check out and explore town. Our final morning was about discovering Misaki beyond the festival and understanding why this small port punches so far above its weight in Japan's fishing world. Walking through the harbor district, you can't miss this huge hanging tuna statue, a proud declaration that this is Tuna Town, where an estimated 190 big-eyed tuna might land on a typical Saturday, many coming from as far away as Taiwan. The fish market across from Misaki-kan offered an incredible selection of fresh tuna, from deep red akami to perfectly marbled toro. But here's what makes Misaki special. This isn't just any tuna market. This is where Japan's first tuna auction was held during the Edo period, making it the birthplace of the bidding system that would eventually become famous at Tsukiji. Misaki Donuts became our pre-adventure fuel stop. These aren't your convenience store donuts. They're handcrafted, fluffy clouds that pair perfectly with their surprisingly excellent drip coffee. But the real surprise was our snorkeling adventure with Aquabit Lab. Their dive school is located a short drive from central Misaki, housed in a converted elementary school building that now serves divers, snorkelers, and even SUP-board enthusiasts. There's something special about discovering that beneath Misaki's working port exterior lies this vibrant underwater ecosystem, carefully presented by locals who understand that healthy seas mean sustainable fishing for generations to come. Misaki-kan isn't just about sleeping in history. It's about experiencing a Japan where tradition and maritime heritage create something extraordinary. Where else can you feast on Nobel laureate-approved hospitality, participate in millennium-old festivals that honor the sea, and literally sleep in a video game setting while surrounded by one of Japan's most important tuna ports? This is omotenashi at its most authentic, not polished service of luxury hotels, but the genuine warmth of a community that's been welcoming travelers for over a century. From mouth-watering tuna dishes to taiko drums, from Showa architecture to sacred shrines, this journey to Misaki-kan and the place where Japan's tuna culture was born proved that the best Japan experiences aren't always in guidebooks. Sometimes they're just a train ride away, waiting for travelers brave enough to seek authenticity. So here's my question for you. Would you brave the legendary tuna kabutoyaki? And more importantly, when was the last time you chose character over comfort in your Japan travels? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe if you're ready to rediscover Japan through experiences that actually matter. Let's continue to relax, rejuvenate, and rediscover Japan, one ryokan at a time. 私は温泉が大好きなハンスンです。また次回も一緒にゆっくりしましょう。それではまた次回、See you again!